Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you've been here before, then welcome back. I am Amy and today I'm going to be taking you all through a fun, funky, challenging, advanced yoga flow. So if you are ready to get moving, we're going to get straight on into things pretty quickly. We will begin in a tabletop position. If there's any warm-up moves that you feel that you need, we'll be doing a short warm-up, but feel free to pause me and do anything that you need to get you feeling ready to go for this practice. So in your tabletop, spreading through the fingers, stacking shoulders over elbows, over wrists, hips over knees, and finding one nice long line from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Engaging the core so we're not collapsing into the belly and we're not rounding through the spine. We're finding that nice sweet spot, middle ground of softness and strength at the same time. And here in your tabletop, start to connect to your breath. So the most advanced practitioner is not the one who can do the most Instagrammable yoga pose. The most advanced practitioner is the person who is the most present and the most connected to their breath throughout their practice. Feel your belly filling up with air as you inhale. And engage the core as you exhale, squeezing out every last drop of air, making space for that next exhale, that next inhale to come in. Take 3 more deep breaths on your own, noticing the sounds, the sensations, the feeling of breathing, of being alive. And as we begin to move, keep this connection to your breath. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, send the hips and the heart up towards the sky. Exhale, draw the hips and the heart in towards one another. Deep breath in, soften the belly down, gaze straight ahead. Deep breath out. Draw the navel in towards the spine up towards the sky. Fill those lungs, lift the chest, empty the lungs, round. Take 3 more going at your own pace, moving with your own breath. Making it fluid, so one movement flows straight into the next. And once you're done with your traditional cat-cow, start to take the movement into the hips. So circling those hips back and forth, from side to side, wiggling around in circles maybe. You might make figure 8s with the hips. Feeling into those niggles, any areas of tightness. Bringing your attention and your energy. Now start to take the spine in circles, so dropping the belly down and then lifting it up, going around to each side, up, down. And switch direction. As you're ready, come back to a neutral tabletop position and take a moment to warm up through the wrists, rocking yourself backwards and forwards, bringing the weight into the wrists as far as feels comfortable. So it might feel a little bit funny, but there should be no pain. Taking it to the edge for you in your body. As you're ready, come back to your neutral tabletop position. On your next breath in, lift the right leg and the left arm to hover off the mat. Hold here in this extended position, reaching the left fingertips and the right toes far, far away from each other, engaging through the core. Take another deep breath in and breathe out, round everything in, tapping knee to nose, elbow in towards the stomach. Inhale, extend, exhale, round. Inhale, extend, exhale, round. 2 more times. Inhale, extend, exhale, squeeze everything in. Deep breath in, let everything out, and tap it all in. Now this time, extend that arm out, bend the right foot in towards the glute, reach the left hand for the big toe side of the foot, and kick that foot up towards the sky. Here in our swan pose, opening through the chest, the shoulders, the entire front side of the body. Inhale, extend back to that balanced position. Drop the right hand down, keep the left leg lifted. The right leg lifted, sorry. Got everything mixed up there. Draw that right knee in towards the nose, then drop the right knee down next to the right wrist. Right ankle crosses in front of the left knee. Take a peek at me if you need to. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. So that front leg is kind of in a pigeon position, finding the balance here. You can keep the fingertips down on the mat if that feels better for you, or you can join me in reaching them up towards the sky, feeling into all of those wobbles. Take another deep breath in, reach even higher up towards the sky, and then bring the right hand or the right fingertips down onto the mat. Take a side stretch over to the right hand side, opening through the entire left side of the body. Deep breath in, reach both arms up, then either stay here or option to play around with the balance even more by lifting the left toes to hover off the mat. Oop, drawing that left heel in towards the left glute. You might just lift that foot a few centimetres, a few inches off the mat. Fall out of the pose, come back and meet us again. And now everybody, drop that back foot down, place both hands right near the front of the mat. Draw the right knee in towards the nose, tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee to hover off the mat, and then straighten that left leg, send the right toes up to the sky, landing in a 3-legged downward facing dog. Bend that right knee, open the hip, start to take big circles with that right knee, going in one direction, and then switch directions. Use your next breath in to sweep that right leg high up towards the sky, and your next breath out to hook the first and second toe of the right foot over the back of the left heel. So hooking the big toe and the second toe over your Achilles on your left foot. Start to draw that left foot down in the direction of the earth, really feeling that stretch down the back of the left leg. Now start to walk the hands in towards that left foot, coming to the back of the mat into a fold with those right toes still hooking over the back of the left. You can bend into the knees here or keep the legs straight, taking whichever option enables you to keep a nice long spine. On your next breath in, sweep the right toes all the way up to the sky, coming into a standing split, using the strength of that right leg to draw it further and further up towards the sky. Option to lift the fingertips to hover off the mat, Maybe wrap them around that left ankle. Maybe reach them all the way up to the sky. And as you're ready, start to walk yourself back to a three-legged downward dog. So keeping that right leg lifted, root down through the right hand and the left foot. Start to hover the right fingertips off the mat. Reach them around for that right foot and start to kick up into the sky, just like we did in our swan pose at the start, opening through the chest, kicking maybe just a few centimetres, a few inches, maybe falling out of the pose and coming to meet us once again. Release that foot, place the left hand back on the mat, rock your way forwards into a three-legged plank, so keeping the right leg hovering off the mat, and then drop down onto the left knee. Inhale, lift the right toes up to the sky as you open through the chest. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick, lift everything up. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, sweep those toes up, open through the chest, and then exhale back to your tabletop. Give those hips a little wiggle, maybe give the wrists a little bit of love once again before we have the joy of doing all of that on the other side. So use your next breath in to extend the left leg and the right arm out long, sending energy through the right fingertips and the left toes. Take another breath in here, extend even further, and deep breath out, round everything in. Inhale, extend, exhale, round. 3 more times. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Fill the lungs as you extend, empty the lungs as you round everything in. 1 more time. Inhale, reach, exhale, round. Now this time we extend and then reach around for that foot, kicking it up towards the sky into our swan pose. Deep breaths into that stretch. Send the breath into the sensations. Deep breath in, extend everything out, drop the right hand down onto the mat, left leg stays lifted, and then draw left knee in towards the nose, deliver that knee next to the left wrist, cross the ankle in front of the right, and then we sweep the arms up towards the sky, or keep the fingertips on the mat if that works better for you. Finding the balance here. Rooting down through the knees as we reach up through the fingertips, but keeping the shoulders nice and soft away from the ears. Take another deep breath in, extend even higher, and use your next exhale to deliver the left fingertips to the mat. Take a stretch over to the left hand side, sending the breath into the right side body. Inhale, reach both arms up, then option to stay here or to play around with the balance, hovering the right toes off the mat, maybe a little bit, maybe a lot, maybe falling out and coming back to meet us. You might find one side is a lot more challenging than the other, and that's definitely the case for me right now. And release, place both hands on the mat, deliver that left knee in towards the nose, tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee to hover, and then straighten that left leg up towards the sky, coming into a three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee, start to take those circles. And switch direction of the circles. On your next breath in, reach those toes all the way up to the sky, feeling the stretch through the back of the right leg. and then hook the big toe and the second toe over the back of the right ankle, stretching through the Achilles. And as you're ready, start to walk the hands back towards the foot, keeping that cross, that hook, sending the breath into the stretch, draping the torso down over the thighs. As you're ready, sweep the left toes up to the sky, come into your standing splits, either with the hands on the mat or bringing them to the ankle or sweeping them up to the sky, taking whichever option works for you. And then keeping the left toes lifted, walk the hands all the way back forwards, coming into a three-legged downward dog. Start to hover the right hand off the mat, reach that hand around for the left foot, and start to kick that foot up towards the sky, opening through the chest. Release that foot, place the right hand down, rock your way forwards into a three-legged plank, finding the strength in the left glute to keep that foot lifted, and then drop that right knee down, kick the left toes up to the sky as you open through the chest. Inhale here, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, draw everything in. One more time. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, drop back down to your neutral tabletop position. Once again, take a little wiggle, a little shimmy from side to side. Now start to walk the knees back, walk the fingertips forwards, drop the chest down towards the mat, sinking into our Anahatasana, melting heart pose. Keeping the hands and the knees exactly glued to the mat, start to rock yourself forwards, lower the belly down to the earth, lift the chest into our seal pose. Pressing into the fingertips, lifting the chest, lifting the collarbones. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, press into the hands, drop back down into your puppy pose. Inhale, round your way forward, drop the belly down, lift the chest. Exhale, round your way back, puppy pose. One more time, inhale, drop it down into your seal, lift the chest. And now gaze over the right shoulder, back towards the right toes, stretching through the neck. Come back through centre and gaze over to the other shoulder. Lower the entire belly, the entire chest down to the earth. Slide the hands back so they're in line with the rib cage. Draw the right heel in towards the right glute as far as you can. Then tuck under the left toes and keeping that right heel drawing in, press up to a plank position. Keeping that heel drawing in and then draw the knee in towards the nose. Hold, hold, hold. Tap that knee to the mat, back to the nose, to the mat, to the nose, to the mat, to the nose. One more time, down to the mat, into the nose, and then step that foot through in between the hands. Drop that back knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, straighten the front leg as you windmill the arms back into a half split. Carry on travelling as you inhale, sweeping the arms up, dropping into your lunge. Exhale, half split, windmill the arms back. So make it fluid. Inhaling, coming forward, arms up. Exhaling, arms back, straighten that leg. 2 more times. Inhale, sink it down, lift the arms. Exhale, straighten, take it back. Last time. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, round it back and hold here in your half splits. Maybe undulating over that leg. So inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. This time, inhale, lift. exhale, lower, and option to float the fingertips off the mat, reach them towards the back of the room, and then lift the left toes to hover off the mat. So we're in a funky, balanced half split, finding the strength, finding the stretch, the balance, everything that yoga is about. Drop those toes back onto the mat. Use your next breath in to come back into that lunge. Sweep the arms up, and this time tuck under the back toes, lift the back knee off the mat into a high lunge. Once again, inhale here, exhale, straighten the front leg, windmill the arms back. Inhale, sink into that front knee, sweep the arms up. Exhale, straighten that knee, windmill it back. One more time here. Inhale, sweep the arms up, high lunge. Exhale, sweep the arms back, kind of in a pyramid position, and this time fold down over that leg. Once again, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Option to root down through the fingertips and then maybe hover that right foot off the mat, maybe literally a centimetre, maybe an inch. You might bring it up, place it back down, or you might just stay with that foot rooted into the earth. Woo! Everyone come back to your extended pyramid pose. Back heel is lifted off the earth. Root down through the left hand, sweep the right arm up to the sky. Here in our revolved pyramid. Parivrita Parsvakonasana. Right fingertips reach, left fingertips root. Take another deep breath in here, and then spin yourself around into a revolved Skandasana, dropping the left hip down towards the earth, coming onto the outer edge of both feet. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, and just hold in your revolved Skandasana for a few breaths, feeling that stretch through the outside edge of the right leg. As you're ready, sweep the arm back up and spin all the way around into a Skandasana, bending into that right leg, pressing the right elbow in towards the right knee. Travel over to the other side, lunging onto that left leg. Take it back to the right, over to the left, either with the fingertips on the mat at heart centre or up towards the sky. Keep on travelling from one side to another. As you're ready, come into a low lunge at the front of the mat, rooting down through the left hand, and then bring the two peace fingers of the right hand around the right big toe. Get a nice grip on that foot, and then open yourself into a side plank with the grip on that right foot. So we're on the outside edge of the left foot and the left hand. Ooh, option to let go of that foot and keep it lifted using just strength. And then deliver that foot to meet the other. Hold in your side plank. Dip that left hip down to the earth. Lift it back up. Dip it down. Lift it back up. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Come back to your side plank. Spin round into a classic plank position. Work through a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths here. Reset, reconnect to your breath if you lost it. As you're ready, rock yourself forwards into a plank and then lower all the way down onto the belly. Time to go on the other side. So draw the left heel in towards the left glute this time. Tuck under the right toes. Press yourself up to a plank, keeping that left heel drawing into the glute. Hold, hold, hold. And then draw that left knee into the nose. Hold. Tap it down to the mat. Back to the nose, down to the mat, back to the nose, down to the mat, back to the nose. One more time, to the mat, to the nose. Hold, hold, hold. And then step that foot through in between the hands, drop down into a low lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, straighten the front leg, windmill the arms back, half splits. Inhale, drop down, arms up. Exhale, straighten the leg, arms back. Keep it flowing. Inhale, low lunge, arms up. Exhale, half split, windmill the arms back. One more time. Windmill those arms up and then straighten that leg. Drop down into your half splits and hold. Inhaling to lift the chest, exhaling to drop it down. Fill the lungs, lift the heart, empty the lungs, lower the heart. One more time, pulsing up, pulsing down, and then option to hover those fingertips, reaching them towards the back of the mat, and then maybe hovering the right toes, finding your balance. And finding balance for you might mean falling out of the pose a million times and coming back to it. As you're ready, lower those hands back down, sink back into your low lunge, sweep the arms up and then tuck under the back toes, lift that knee off, rise up into your high lunge. Inhale here, exhale, straighten the leg, windmill the arms back. Inhale, sink it down, reach the arms up. Exhale, straighten the leg, windmill it back. One more time, sink in, sweep the arms up. Exhale, straighten that leg and descend down into your pyramid. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to soften. Deep breath in, lift the chest. Deep breath out, soften. One more time, inhaling to lift, exhaling, descending down over that leg. Feeling the stretch in that hamstring. And then option to play around with hovering that left foot, a few inches, a few centimetres, a millimetre off the mat, dropping it back down. Lifting it up, dropping it down. Lifting it up, maybe holding, and then dropping it down. As you're ready, root down through the right hand, sweep the left fingertips up towards the sky, revolved pyramid. Feeling that opening in the chest. And then spin yourself into a revolved skandasana, dropping the right hip down towards the earth, coming onto the outer edge of both feet. Inhale, lift, reach that arm forwards. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop it down and then hold here for a few deep breaths, sending the breath into the stretch. As you're ready, unravel into side lunge on the left leg. Right toes reach up to the sky, left elbow presses in towards the left knee. Feel that opening in the groin, the inner thigh, the hips. And then as you're ready, with fingertips on the mat, hands at heart centre, hands up to the sky, whichever option works for you, travel over to the other side. Take it back to the front, back to the back, moving at your own pace, moving at the rhythm that works for you. As you're ready, spin into a low lunge on that left knee, facing the front of the mat. Root down through the right hand, hook that left toe with the peace fingers and the thumb, and then spin your way into a side plank with the bind around that leg. Release the bind, keep that leg lifted, and then deliver that foot to the left foot. Hold here in your side plank and take those 5 dips with that right hip for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to your side plank. Take it to your plank. Work through a chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. Exhaling down dog. Once again, 3 deep breaths here. You might take deep releasing breaths, sighing it out through the mouth if that feels good for you. As you're ready, rock up onto the toes, bend into the knees, and then hop your way forwards into a malasana at the front of the mat. Pressing the elbows into the knees, reaching the crown of the head up towards the sky. And another little bit of fire for us. Bring the hands to root down into the earth and then hop both feet simultaneously or one at a time back to a plank. Back to malasana, back to plank, malasana, plank, malasana, plank for 3 more. 2, 1, back in your malasana. Take a moment, wiggle around, bring the elbows to press towards the knees, and then lift the hips so that the torso is parallel to the floor. Lower them back down, lift them up. Lower them, lift, lower, lift, lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow, back down to malasana. That has got my glutes and my hips absolutely on fire. So if you are the same, you are definitely not alone. Take a deep breath. On your next breath in, as you are ready, sweep the left hand down, reach the right arm up towards the sky like you're trying to pick a big juicy apple off an imaginary apple tree, and then take the bind around that left knee if that works for you, reaching those fingertips around for each other, around that left leg, really opening through the chest. If the bind doesn't work for you, then no worries. Whether or not you've got the bind, we're going to rise up to standing. So if you've got the bind, the challenge is to rise up with the bind kept around that left leg. So shimmying onto the left tiptoes, sliding yourself up to standing, keeping hold of that left leg. If you don't have the bind, just drawing that left knee up and into the chest. Then the challenge to everyone is to bring the hands to bind around the left thigh. So if you've got the arms wrapped around the shin, unhook yourself and bind under that thigh instead. And then straighten that leg into bird of paradise. You might straighten the leg fully, you might have it very bent. Both options are just as valid and just as fabulous as one another. Release the bind from the leg and bring that foot into standing staff. So sweeping the arms up, extending that left leg straight out in front, finding the strength to keep it lifted. And then sweep that left leg behind you, either coming into traditional dancer pose by reaching the left hand for the big toe side of that foot and kicking that foot up towards the sky. You can take that option if you wish, or you can carry on drawing that left heel in towards the left glute and come into king dancer. So extend the left arm out in front, hold that palm facing upwards like you're holding your hand out for someone to place something in your hand, and keeping that hand facing upwards, bring it out to the side and around for the pinky toe side of that foot. Grab hold of the foot and then spin the left elbow out to the side, then up overhead, and then bring the right hand to the foot as well. Kick that foot up to the sky, king dancer. Whatever option you've chosen, release the foot, come into a warrior three. Extending the left toes to the back of the mat, reaching the fingertips out in front if that works for you. And then draw the left knee into the chest, wrap it around the right, taking the single or the double wrap for our eagle legs. Reach the fingers up towards the sky. My right glute is on fire right now, so if you are feeling the same, you are definitely not alone. Keeping that right leg bent, unravel the left leg, draw it into the chest, and then sink yourself down into a chair pose, bending deeply into the knees, making sure you can still see all 10 toes. And release, straighten those legs down into a fold. Give yourself a little wiggle, a little shimmy. And start to walk those feet out, lower the hips back down, landing back in our malasana, ready to take all of that once again on the other side. So sweep the right hand down this time, left arm reaches up to the sky, reaching for that big, juicy, imaginary apple. And then maybe we take the bind around that right foot, clasping the fingertips behind that leg. Then maybe with that bind around the leg, or with whatever option works for you, we rise up to standing. Taking it slow, rooting down through that left foot, drawing that right knee up towards the sky, and finding that focal point to keep your balance, keep your gaze locked on one focal point, a drishti. And then we play around with switching the grip on that leg so it's underneath the thigh, and then straightening that leg up to the sky for bird of paradise, or anywhere near it. Whatever your pose looks like right now is fabulous. Release that leg, reach the fingertips up, reach that foot out in front, flexing the toes back towards the face. And then sweeping that leg behind you, either coming into a traditional dancer, reaching for the big toe side with the right foot, kicking that foot up into the sky. Or playing around with king dancer, keeping that heel drawing into the glute, reaching the right hand out in front as if someone's placing that juicy apple into your hand, keeping the palm face up as you bring that hand to the pinky toe side, flipping your grip, pointing the elbow up to the sky, and then reaching both fingertips for the foot. Kick, kick, kick. Whatever option you're in, release the foot, make your way into a warrior three. Once again, my leg is on fire. But we have got this. Hold your warrior 3 for just a few more moments. And then draw that knee into the chest. Cross it over, finding either single or double wrap. Eagle legs and sweeping the arms up as you sink the legs and the hips down. Unravel, draw the right knee into the chest and then deliver it next to the left foot as you sink the hips down into our chair pose. Option to stay here or to come up onto your tiptoes for a balanced chair. And then drop the heels down, straighten the legs, take a little wiggle in your forward fold, bending the knees as much as you wish, as much as feels good. Let's all come into ragdoll pose. So bringing opposite hand to opposite elbow, letting the weight of the entire upper body drop down towards the earth. And release. Drop your bum down towards the earth. Let the knees drop out wide. Soles of the feet press into one another for our Baddha Konasana. Deep breath in, lift the chest. Deep breath out, folding down, keeping a nice long spine as you fold over the legs. Use your next breath in to come back upright. Take the bind around both big toes with the peace fingers and thumbs and lift the feet off the mat. Start to straighten the legs, keeping that bind, coming into a bound Navasana here. Legs can be straight, legs can be bent. Find whatever works for you. Just whichever option you take, we want the shoulders to be nice and soft away from the ears. So if you're hunched up like this, try and soften them, keeping opening through the chest, space between the ears and the shoulders. Now, can you let go of the toes and keep them just as high? So release the grip, extend the fingertips towards the top of the mat, keep those legs nice and lifted. And now either from straight legs or bending the knees, let's take some toe taps. So tap one toe and the other. Keep it going. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to your boat. Lower to low boat. Back to high boat. Tap the heels. Come down to hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now take it down to low boat and hold. Maybe reach the arms up overhead. Come back up, hug the knees into the chest, drop the forehead down onto the knees. Give yourself a big squeeze. Unravel yourself, straighten both legs down towards the bottom or the top, whatever edge of the mat it is, wherever you are, it does not matter. Keep the left leg extended, bring the right foot up and over, so the right foot is on the outside edge of the left knee. Inhale, sweep the left arm up, exhale, give that right knee a nice big hug. Option to hook the elbow. And another option is to straighten that left arm and reach it around for the arch of that right foot. Whatever option you've chosen, make sure the left foot is nice and active. Make sure the right toes are all rooting down into the earth and make sure the chest is nice and lifted. Unravel, take a little baby counter twist to the other side, then let the right foot carry on travelling in towards the outside of the left hip. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold down over both legs. This is obviously one of those days where all of my words get mumbo jumboed and I just don't know what I'm saying. Unravel, slide yourself back upright, extend the right leg out straight, bring the left foot to stamp to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, give your left knee a nice little hug. Option to hook the elbow and option to reach the right hand for the arch of the left foot. I told you I cannot speak today, guys, but hopefully you're all still understanding what I'm talking about. Unravel, take that little counter twist and let that left foot carry on travelling in towards the right hip. Deep breath in, extend, deep breath out, folding down. Draw the air into the lungs as you draw yourself back upright. Uncross those legs, maybe give your legs a little wiggle. Then plant the soles of the feet on the earth, extend the fingertips out long and start to lower yourself down onto your back. Keep the feet rooted on the earth, stacking the knees above the ankles, so walking the feet closer in towards your glutes if you need to. Root down through the hands, the elbows, the shoulders, and on your next breath in, lift the hips up towards the sky. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Keep it going, flowing with your breath, lifting the hips up and down. You can just stay hanging out on the ground. You can hold your bridge pose, or you can join me with these lifts and lowers, finding a bit of strength in the glutes. Let's keep it going for 5, 4, 3, squeeze those glutes up at the top, 2, and 1. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those hips down, windmill the knees from side to side. So like your knees are the windshield wipers of a car, dropping from one side to the other. Option to hang out here on the floor, to come up for another round of bridge, or to join me in pressing up to wheel. Rooting down through the feet, spinning the palms onto the floor, lifting everything up. Breathing deeply. Keeping everything switched on. Pressing through the hands, the shoulders, engaging the glutes. Option to lift one leg at a time. and lowering back down to the earth whenever you are ready. Just take a moment in this neutral spine, letting the body recover, letting the blood settle. And then once again, windmill those knees. Windmill, windshield wiper, I cannot decide. Whichever you want to call it, taking those rocks with the knees. And then keeping the entire spine rooted down to the earth, start to hug the knees into the chest, but only as far as you can when still keeping the lower back in contact with the mat. Release the grip on the knees, drop them over to the left hand side. You can stack or stagger the legs. You can have the legs straight. You can have one leg straight. You could take eagle legs. Take whichever version of a supine twist is calling to you right now. And we'll take 5 deep breaths. As you are ready, come back through centre and then drop those knees over to the other side. Back through centre we come, and take any other moves that you fancy. So maybe you take some big circles with the knees, maybe you hug the knees into the chest, maybe you take a happy baby, anything that's calling to you right now, anything that will enable you to find greater stillness when we drop into our Shavasana. And as always, I encourage you to take whichever version of Shavasana is calling to you today. That might be a different version from what you usually take. It might be the same version that you always take, but the option is yours. So, Supta Baddha Konasana, a traditional Shavasana, constructive rest pose. You could even be on your side, on your belly. Setting up, getting nice and comfy to spend a few minutes in peace and stillness. Like I said at the start, the advanced practitioner is not the person who can do the most Instagrammable pose. It's the person who is most present and most connected to their breath. And the person who is able to fully surrender to stillness and to silence. So let's all enjoy a few minutes here in our Shavasana. Know that if your mind is racing and wandering, that is completely normal and completely okay. Just try and softly encourage your mind to return to the present moment. Just gently guiding it back every time. If you feel like hanging out in your Shavasana for longer, then I very much encourage you to do so. If you are ready to move on, you can start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, make circles with the ankles and the wrists, take a big stretch, take whatever movement your body is asking for right now, and then gently make your way back up to a comfortable seated position. You can keep the eyes closed if that feels comfortable. We'll seal our practice with one deep releasing breath. So bring the hands onto the knees, palms face down, sealing in the effects of our practice, grounding us for the rest of our day. Deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Open the eyes if they are not already. And thank you so much for choosing to share your practice with me today. If you did enjoy that practice, which I really hope you did, then please subscribe to my channel so that you never miss a yoga class from me. You can also like this video to let me know that you enjoyed it and that I should make more like it in the future. And of course, feel free to leave any comments with any requests, any suggestions, and just anything you feel like saying. I hope you have a wonderful day and hopefully I will see you again soon.